okay corral. What I like is that in the second half, our defense is much better, especially in that fourth quarter. They only scored 23 points, shot 42 from the field, and did not make a three. And the three-point line was a huge issue, especially in that first half. So Jamal's line tonight, he gets 22, 15, and 7. Nikola, Monte Morris is playing like a 10-year veteran out there. He's got ice water in his veins right now. So just it's a great way to close out this 4-game homestand with another win in front of a great crowd. So couldn't be proud of our guys.
Let's get into Nikola's stat line a little bit. What did you see from him, and what have you seen from him during this homestand?
Everything. Yeah, everything. We need him to score. He scores 32. We need him to rebound. He does that. We need him to facilitate, make plays for his teammates. He does that. And we're asking him to do a lot on defense and be up in pick and rolls and fly around. So Nikola and Jamal, the minutes we're playing them, probably too many minutes, but we have a lot of time off before our next game, so we'll get some rest and recovery. But I think Nikola has shown everybody in the NBA, with 3 starters out, that he's the most valuable player can do. Not just from a stat standpoint, but he does it every single night in so many different ways. And that's why he's a special player, and that's why we all love that he's a Nugget.
Jamal Murray's assist tonight, just even in the first half. What did you see from him in terms of point guard play? Yeah,
just being a facilitator. You know, one thing I stress with Jamal all the time is that, don't shortchange yourself. You're not just a scorer, you're not just a shooter. And the way he shot this year, he can't even call himself a shooter. But be a complete player. Be a guy that makes his teammates better. Be a guy that guards his position. Be a guy that can rebound your position. I think he's a very good rebounding point guard. And for him to get 22, 15, and 7 boards shows that. And I think fourth quarter, he had 10 points in the fourth quarter. 2 games in a row, we're down the stretch when the game is close. He thrives in those moments. He has such confidence in himself, and that was great to see as well.
What are the details that are allowing him to see the floor so well right now?
Well, I think what's helping, Nick, is the way we space the floor. I mean, I think that's a big part of it. You want to be an efficient offense, you better make sure you have proper spacing. And a couple of games ago, I thought our spacing was really bad. We watched it on film, and we spent a couple of days working on that, and I think it's paid off. The floor is open, not playing in the crowd. You draw 2 to the ball, make the early pass, make the easy pass, and I think Jamal's done that. And obviously it helped tonight where guys were making shots. I was so happy for Trey Lyles tonight. Trey's obviously had a tough time of making threes. He still played well, but I think tonight was really good for him, important for him to see the ball go through the net from distance. And hopefully that can kind of jumpstart him, and that's the Trey Lyles that we can come to expect every night.
This start matches your best start in franchise history over 30 games. I'm sure you don't really care that much about the records, the accolades, or whatever. But is this team starting to buy into the potential that it has?
Oh, they bought it a long time ago, man. With 30 games into the season, this team early in the year had a great belief going into training camp, had a great belief coming out of preseason, and to be 21-9, I believe it is, on top of the Western Conference, there's complete buy-in. And the fact that we're doing it as a second youngest team with all the injuries we have makes it that much more special. And we got a unique group. We got a great group. There's a lot of fun in that locker room right now. And winning is great, and hopefully we can sustain this.
You mentioned Monte, and just does it seem like he has an uncanny ability to just stop runs and make timely shots and distribute when you guys desperately need one?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that he had 1 turnover tonight. That's not like him. 5 assists, 1 turnover, but again, I'm closing games with this kid. I mean, like, he played 23 minutes last year in the NBA, and he's closing games. But the confidence he has, I mean, he had a big 3 tonight, and no hesitation. I mean, and I think this all goes back to his upbringing, where he's from, that toughness, that belief, everything he's overcome to get here. And that's why it even makes it that much more special. So happy for him and the level he's playing at.
Coach, the run that Nikola had to end last season, last 15, 16, 17 games, do you see any similarities to what he's been able to do over these last 4?
I see a lot, Harrison. I mean, down the stretch, obviously Gary was out, Paul was still kind of finding his way, and we were led by Nikola, we were led by Jamal. And so I see the same thing right now. He understands the importance of, with Gary, Will, Paul Millsap out, and we got a lot of guys that are banged up that are playing. He's got to step up and produce, and he's not shying away from them, which is awesome. I mean, he's a young kid who has so much potential that I think if he just continues to play his game, not force it, but be aggressive when he has to make his teammates better. Once again, as I said earlier, he's showing everybody why he's such a special player and a unique player.
Prior to the season, you guys wanted to lower the offensive rebounds clearly you guys are still rebounding offensively very well, but the defense is also top 5. How is that happening?
For me, I would simply answer it by saying buy-in and commitment. A lot of times when you make the jump that we've made on the defensive end, usually you go out and get 3 guys that are great defenders. You sign a free agent, you draft a guy. For us, we're the same team. And take care, Devin.
All right, Mike.
For us, it's the same group. We haven't changed anything, but the importance and the sting of losing Game 82 in Minnesota is a great motivating factor. Hi, Shan. That loss kind of stayed with us all summer long and motivated us to come into the season. And it was an easy question. You want to be a playoff team, guard, defend. And we're not doing anything fancy or crazy, but we're doing great effort and great discipline.
One more.
Great job, Nate.
Not needed.